Movie adaptations of video games are quite often not great. Most of them fail to impress film critics while also falling flat on gamer audiences, but they will likely keep getting made because games are just so popular. It also fortunately means that we get plenty of brilliant video games which are based on movies. One such example is Star Wars Battlefront II, now referred to as the original or classic game from 2005, and as you may have guessed, it's based on the Star Wars film franchise. The game was praised by players at the time for its online gameplay and single-player storyline, which would go on to earn an impressive score of 83 on Metacritic. So let's take a look at how Star Wars Battlefront 2 is an exceptionally good game, but beware of some minor spoilers from here on out.
Let's turn this place into a scrap pile.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 followed and improved upon its predecessor, which was released the year prior. While many enhancements were made, most of the simple but well-designed first and third-person shooter gameplay was brought forward from the original. The main game mode that you play is Conquest, in which each side is given a limited number of reinforcements or player respawns, with the goal being to reduce your opponents to zero.
A command post has fallen to our enemies. Our numbers are being depleted.
You also capture and try to hold command posts to gain a strategic advantage on the battlefield.
Capture the downed Techno-Union ship to secure a stronger foothold for our troops.
These allow you to quickly get reinforcements into the action. And an automatic victory is also obtained if your side manages to hold all of them simultaneously.
Command post is under Republic control.
During matches, players and AI-controlled bots select one of 4 classes to play as. These are Standard Infantry, Assault Trooper, Sniper, and Engineer. Each has unique weapon loadouts and equipment, so you can adapt your playstyle as the match progresses. It's on top of this core gameplay foundation that the visual design and characters of the Star Wars universe are applied. The game is even split into 2 eras, the Clone Wars as featured in the prequel films, and the Galactic Civil War depicted in the original films. However, the genius of Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that it's not just a cosmetic skin, and it ensures it gives fans exactly what they want. This is how the game elevates itself from a generic but very good shooter game to one that is essentially brilliant fan service. Examples of how this is done are the playable characters, where doing well in a game and completing objectives will unlock special units to play as. Each of these has exclusive and, importantly, immensely fun abilities that can completely change a battle. For instance, some units including the Jet Trooper and Dark Trooper both have access to a jetpack, meaning you can fly around the map. However, fans may be more excited to play as the Wookiee Warrior units, which are equipped with deadly bowcasters. You can even play as droidekas or destroy droids, where you can literally roll up to your enemies, unravel, and fire your blasters while being protected by a shield. Additionally, Star Wars Battlefront 2 added playable heroes and villains. To make them and the player controlling them feel more powerful, they don't have a typical health bar. Instead, their health decays over time if they do not find enemies to defeat. This allowed fans to play as much beloved Jedi heroes, from swinging around a lightsaber as Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Luke Skywalker, using the Force to throw enemies as Master Yoda, or perhaps most satisfyingly of all, throwing your saber like a boomerang as Mace Windu. It also allowed players to take on the role of their favourite Sith Lords. Darth Maul has their signature double-bladed lightsaber, Darth Sidious ejects their signature Force Lightning out from their hands, and Count Dooku has their signature look of superiority. However, the majority of players will probably be most excited to be able to force choke out their enemies while playing as the legendary asthmatic Darth Vader. The iconic vehicles of the Star Wars universe are another aspect that fans would be excited to experience in a video game. Therefore, Star Wars Battlefront II delivered a wide selection of playable vehicles that add an entirely new dimension to the gameplay. However, most of these vehicles are only available for use with certain factions and on specific maps. Nevertheless, this limitation has the advantage of ensuring that each battle stays true to the source material and closely replicates what was shown in the movies. For example, the map on the ice-covered planet Hoth features rideable tauntauns, which are native to the planet. While they don't offer any significant firepower, they do provide the player with a much-needed method to get across this large map quickly. It's also on this map where you can climb aboard AT-ATs and take control of the heavy laser cannons. But while this may seem overpowered, there is a good balance with the ground combat by adding a level of skill to take them down. A simple way that this is achieved is by giving vehicles weak spots, where more damage will be dealt. This means a team can swiftly deal with troublesome vehicles by spawning more reinforcements with rocket weaponry. In this particular example, you can also take down the AT-ATs by replicating the scene straight out of Empire Strikes Back. It's just a matter of doing some impressive flying in a snowspeeder so that the harpoon will entangle their legs. Star Wars Battlefront II also expanded upon the enjoyment of piloting flying vehicles with the completely new addition of space combat. This enabled players to experience the epic space battles between capital ships. The excellence of these space battles is that you have options on how to approach things. Most players may opt for hopping into a starfighter, but you can just stay back in the comfort of your own ship and operate defensive turrets. Another strategy is to pilot support type shuttles, a favourite being the LAAT. They act as a mobile command post and reinforcements can spawn on them when they land, meaning you can board an enemy ship and destroy them from the inside. While this space combat might not be for everyone, and the campaign acknowledges this by offering the option to skip missions involving it, it likely fulfilled many childhood dreams of flying an X-Wing or TIE Fighter in space.
Your simulation days are over, Trooper. This is a real battle. Now get out there!
One more new addition to Star Wars Battlefront II was a single-player campaign. It follows the 501st Legion, and you play as an unnamed clone trooper during the later stages of the Clone Wars.
Nothing at all like the simulations on Kamino. Of course, that's pretty much the way it was for all of us, wasn't it? All that breeding, all those years of training. It doesn't really prepare you for all the screaming or the blood, does it?
Initially, you gain a first-hand perspective of the battles against the CIS, where you fight alongside the Jedi. But after Order 66 is executed, you then witness the clone trooper's transition into becoming a stormtrooper for the Galactic Empire.
The 501st were placed under the direct command of Lord Vader. Armed with deadly new weapons, blazing new ships and shiny new armor, our presence let the galaxy know that the days of the old Republic were well and truly over.
One of the reasons why this story was such a success was that it let you play as the bad guys during pivotal events depicted in the films. This gave fans the chance to fight alongside both heroes and villains, much to their delight.
After a brief and pointless battle, we boarded the ship the Tantive 4 over Tatooine, began looking for the plans, and waited for Lord Vader's arrival.
The campaign also offers players a retrospective, with the game's release coinciding with the end of the prequel trilogy. The story's events also give a bigger picture to the franchise, as it unfolds chronologically, not in the sequel-prequel order the films were released.
After the battle, the surviving members of the 501st finally caught their breath. The Empire had taken the rebels' best shot and come up standing. Now, it was our turn to strike.
There are also more examples of fan service that the game's story mode explores. Several missions depict cross-era what-if scenarios that let you experience what the Clone War era battles would have been like had the Galactic Empire existed. The mission's preventive measures and tying up loose ends follow the Empire as they hunt down an engineer who reactivated a droid-controlled beacon.
The destruction of the mining facility put an end to any thoughts of a second droid rebellion.
Likewise, changing of the guard follows the Empire dealing with a rogue clone army faction.
There never was a clone rebellion on Kamino. Unofficially, approximately 20 years after we were created, a special detachment of the Imperial 501st Legion was dispatched to Kamino with orders to eradicate an army of clones that had been bred to take arms against the Empire.
The result is that Star Wars Battlefront II's campaign mode would be incredibly well received by both gamers and Star Wars fans, because it was an excellent showcase of the movies.
We were establishing a new era, an era of order and peace.
Even after several new games in the series, the Star Wars Battlefront II from 2005 is still relevant and enjoyed to this day. Its gameplay is not only well designed to ensure a lot of variety between matches, but it also provides copious amounts of Star Wars fan service. Therefore, the original Star Wars Battlefront II is one of the greatest video games ever made that is based on a movie franchise.